James helped us with that analysis of what our print consumption was and what we were doing.
The outcome of the James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services recommendation?
We ended up reducing down to about 97 total printers and copiers from 197.
The impact on your print output?
We eliminated over 500,000 pages a month of output that we figured out we really didn't need.
Month after month, that adds up to savings and value.
Oh, tons of value. Those numbers add up even when it's only a penny or so per page.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Oh my God, is this your house?
This is the humble abode.
Oh my God, it's so humble.
FX presents Adults.
You don't know your social security number?
No, I do. It's just my mom, knows the whole thing.
A new comedy about 20-somethings achieving zero anythings.
What is the worst that happens?
I go broke. I can't pay my loans. I start an OnlyFans, but only you guys subscribe.
Can't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it on there, so sorry.
FX's Adults. Wednesdays on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still a rough ride on the Rock Freeway, heading southbound right at Moreland Road. We do still have the left lane blocked with a crash. So delays are coming in from Highway 100 all the way to that point. We've got northbound, not too bad. It's actually moving along relatively well. Remember, Highway 100 in both directions, we've got lane blockages right just south of Oklahoma Avenue because of a crash on the southbound side and vehicle fire on the northbound side. So that's something to keep in mind. Eastbound 94, still heavy from about Highway 16 all the way through the Barker Road area to about, I would say, Brookfield Road, then back on the brakes from Elm Grove Road all the way through the Zoo Interchange.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
My son got yelled at last night because everyone walks down here, and when I have to go out to the mailbox or something, I got to look both ways to make sure no one's coming because I don't want to talk to anybody.
Hey, Ray. How you doing? Good. You know that guy? He works at the restaurant Moho in your hotel. The W Hotel.
I thought you were talking about cars.
Yeah. Nope.
Just assume you were
Even
trying
more
to avoid
dangerous.
getting hit by
People.
a truck.
I think he'd rather get hit by the truck than probably talk to his neighbors.
Why didn't you say hello to him? You know him. I know. He wanted to do a stop and chat. I didn't want to do a stop and chat. Stop and chat? Where do you come up with these things, stop and chat? He wanted to stop and chat with me, and I don't know him well enough for a stop and chat.
Is that true, Chew? Would you rather get hit by a truck than talk to your neighbors?
How hard?
Like a 3-day hospital stay.
I mean, if you don't look, you can get caught with 3 people, and then you're there for 20 minutes.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing
I'm not sure how our guy's going to handle this.
What?
Yeah. Moi. Yeah. What is the opposite of moi? Like, if he says moi, it means me.
Moi.
And I want to say you. Is there a... No, there's not. I mean, I'm sure there is, but we don't know it. Okay.
Jen, I don't know what you're trying to communicate.
So he says moi, like me, and I wanted to retort with you, but I don't know how to say you. Is moi French? I don't know. Again, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to keep the bit going, but then I realized I don't have the information / knowledge to be able to do so.
That's okay.
Anyway, I don't know how our guy's going to handle this, Joshy, because
No shoes on a plane?
I'm a gush.
I don't think you can gush.
I'm gonna gush.
So I was prepared for this from Chewy. I came armed with the discussion. You gave us the permission to gush if this was a good game. You downplayed the Pirates game, which is fair. That is a bad offense. We all recognize that going into it. The Dodgers are the best lineup baseball has seen in like a decade. The best lineup money can buy. And he went out and dominated.
He did.
12 career high strikeouts.
Let me tell you what. I had the $100 in the cup holder in my truck ready to bring it in, and I forgot, which I tend to do.
Yeah,
gush is too strong. You can't gush when there's 162 of these things.
No,
Jesus,
no. You gush because he is throwing 100+ miles per hour past the best hitters in baseball, doing it consistently to the tune of 12 strikeouts last night.
He is the hottest thing in baseball right now.
I agree.
He is.
I think he's the hottest thing in sports.
Well, we might be a little too close to the fire.
Are there sports going on right now?
That was what I was playing toward my advantage.
When does football start? Jeez, that was, I watched 2 innings, and that was enough.
And you were like, I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
So here's what was funny, right? I got a couple of things. One, right after the show, I wanted to pop over to Potawatomi because they had the strikeouts line, right? You could get plus odds on 5.5, over 5.5 strikeouts for Miserowski, right? And I was like, feels like a good, plus 125, I think it was, right? Feels like a good little bet. And then it was like, plus, what did I say it was, Joshy, when I looked?
I don't remember the number. I actually just overheard you and Chewy talking about it at the end of the show, that it was plus odds for him to get to 6 strikes.
I saw plus 245 for over 6.5. And I got a little I got the itch, I kind of want to get over there and drop some money on this. To me, it felt like a sure thing. But then I talked myself out of it. I was like, no, I got to go home. I got to get ready for, the girls had baseball yesterday morning and whatnot. I said, but maybe I'll bop back down in the middle of the day. So I get done dropping the girls off at gymnastics, and I look at the odds at Potawatomi, and I'm going, it's pretty good. Miserowski, I'm feeling good about this. I'm going to zip over to Potawatomi. Well, you know what? There's no zip from the North Shore to Potawatomi at 3 in the afternoon. 45 minutes, it said, from my house to Potawatomi. So I said, no thanks.
Do you have to go there?
Yeah, you got to
Can't
go
you
to
do it online?
Not yet.
Okay.
Maybe eventually, but not right now.
I pretty much nailed it. Do you guys believe in athlete psyche? I said he got roughed up. He's going to come back, light it up, and they'll have a hell of a game.
So to that point, he gave up the leadoff home run to Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And
well,
of course, right? So
you missed
like,
one pitch and you're going to pay the ultimate price.
But I said, that hacked him off. Now he's mad. Now he's focused.
Yeah.
And I also said this for Chewy, talking about athlete dynamic, mental, all of that stuff that plays a role in performance. Now the no-hitter's off the board. Now he's not worried about a no-hitter. You get those butterflies. People aren't sitting by you, all that stuff. Hit's gone. Hit's out of the way. Lock in. And that's exactly what he did, mowing down 12 strikeouts for the evening.
I want to pull this. What's worse? Giving up a home run in baseball or getting toasted as a DB for a touchdown?
Touchdown, I think.
What about a walk-off home run?
That's different. Is it a walk-off touchdown? Those happen too, late in the game.
Yeah, walk-off both. What's worse?
I will go back to
I'm
once
gonna
again.
say baseball.
No, and here's
You're
why.
naked out there all by yourself.
You are naked.
You are
famously.
Nakedness.
Yeah.
There's some nakedness
The
happening
negativity.
here. No, because, and this goes back to basic math. You just said there's 162 of these suckers. There's 17 of these suckers. You lose a game in the football season, it weighs way more heavy than losing a game,
Yeah,
a
but
baseball
baseball, it's all you. You know?
You are literally standing
DB,
alone.
Where's my help over the top? Where's the D line? Why didn't you get there? Baseball, it's you. You're throwing the thing, and then you're naked.
You could also argue that the catcher plays a role in pitch sequencing and whatnot, although the pitcher can obviously shake him off.
Yeah.
I think there's a dependent situation here because baseball and home runs are way more common at this point. Like, I mean, the Cubs on, I believe it was the 4th of July, had like 8 home runs. So any individual home run in that game means virtually nothing. But if you give up a lead or lose a game because of it, it feels ultimately disappointing.
Yes, that's.
And how many times, and us as Joe Barry watchers and non-appreciators, how many times did you see a cornerback get roasted and then turn around and point at his safety and go, hey, where were you? Because nobody knew where they were supposed to be.
Let me throw another caveat in there. Is it worse on the road or at home? Because you're in front of your own fans going, are you kidding me?
No, because the home fans are going to be understanding, I think. Especially for a guy who's been dominant. I think people chalk up a home run, even like you guys just said about Ohtani, as it happens. Ohtani's one of the best in the game, like first hitter, first batter of the game. I feel like people are like, especially when he locked in. I will say this, that was the other thing, Joshy, when I was contemplating my bet, contemplating my investment, if you will. I was like, he's at home. Home cooking, home crowd, going to be a lot, better, feel better, good vibes than it was in New York when he had that tough outing. Anyway, I hate money lost. And I could have made a little bit of money last night because he obviously went well beyond the 6.5 over that Potawatomi was setting, which, by the way, we're going to check and see. We have been monitoring Jacob Miserowski's Rookie of the Year odds over at Potawatomi, and they just keep falling like a rock. I don't even think you're going to get plus odds for the rest of the season.
What was his consecutive? I stopped at 6. He had 6 strikeouts in a row. Was that it?
So after you're talking about after the Ohtani, he went 1, 2, 3. I think he went 1, 2, 3 again. It might have been 8. I don't know. I'm not sure. It was pretty impressive, though. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we can gush about this now because he is obviously one of the most exciting players in all of sports, certainly in baseball right now. And you need evidence of it. Just go back and look at some of the comments that people were making after the game, including Pedro Martinez, who was on the TBS TNT broadcast last night. He said, Jacob Miserowski is special. He's got velocity, movement, and that bulldog mentality. Him, Skeens, and is it Skubal?
Tariq Skubal.
Yep. Look like the future of pitching to me. Long legs, long arms, built to dominate. He was not the only one. Joshy, I think we have some other comments about Jacob Miserowski last night. Where do you want to start?
I think first, to contextualize things, we should first address that Clayton Kershaw in sort of the pre-game meeting, when asked about Jacob Miserowski, said he didn't really know who he was other than the fact he was the kid who rolled his ankle on the mound, which is sort of dismissive when you can't totally fault Clayton Kershaw. He's a future Hall of Famer, just struck out 3,000. Yeah, you're not going to,
because he's a rookie.
Right, exactly.
Veterans hate when rookies and not run their mouth but have success.
Right, and he's the big thing. So he knows exactly who he is. It's like a pitcher knows the guy throwing 103 and sliders at 96 that are moving. Like they're aware. The other one that I think is worth mentioning is also Pat Murphy, when discussing beforehand, described him as Jacob Miserowski as just breaking out of his shell. He just broken the shell, man. He's just out of the egg, all arms and legs. He's still got gooey stuff coming off of him, which is a funny way. I feel like that's something our guy Chew here would say.
Gross.
Yes, it's graphic.
No one wants to think of the gooey stuff on the baby when they come out of the shell.
And then after all that,
it's hot in there.
Miserowski goes out and dominates. And then this is how Clayton Kershaw decided to discuss The Miz.
Miserowski.
Yeah, I know him now, huh? I mean, that was super impressive. Yeah, I mean, that was unbelievable. It was really special. I mean, everything, obviously the velo, but he's got 4 pitches, commands the ball, and made it. I mean, I don't know how you hit that, honestly. That's just really tough. So,
I mean, that's an all-time pitcher in the modern era saying, I don't know how you hit the Brewers pitcher.
Let me ask you that, because the kid doesn't. He's goofy.
Very goofy.
But if it was an established pitcher, when he came off the mound one time and he was showing emotion and stuff, is that against baseball rules? You know how they have their stupid rules?
It's not so much anymore, like the unwritten rules.
Yes.
They usually let you get away with it from the pitching mound as long as you're not doing it at people.
At the people.
As long as you're celebrating to your bench
I love his
and your
innocence.
guys, you're allowed to be excited and show emotion. It's just not showing people up is the big thing.
Yeah.
We have some folks weighing in on the YouTube stream this morning, and I think this is an excellent point being made by Chris. He says the best part of the game was when he got in a little trouble to start the 6th, but Murphy stuck with him. He got out of the 2 on, nobody out jam without
100%.
allowing a run. Big for the kid's psyche. And I believe was Ohtani on third in that instance? Oh, Ohtani got on the first time, and then the Miz got him the second time with the strikeout. Maybe it was the third. It couldn't have been the third time around. That doesn't make sense.
I have to pull up
Either way, I believe somebody might have been on third in that instance, too. And that's what evoked that big reaction by him, right? Where he spun around and was like,
Yes.
F yeah, as he should. Because, yeah, you put a couple on and you want to show that you can work your way out of it. Appreciate that reaction.
Yeah, so it was Ohtani walked, Betts reached on infield single.
Oh, and that's because Ohtani leapt out of the way of one that was on the edge of the strike zone, and we were like, really? Okay, a little theatrics there to get the call.
And then Freeman grounded out, which moved Betts to second, Ohtani to third, and then he got 2 more ground outs to get himself out of the inning there. Because Ohtani was thrown out at home then.
I tend to agree that was very impressive. And a lot of what people are saying is also, it's not just that he's a flamethrower. It's that now, and again, we will continue to watch as he keeps bringing the walks down, outing by outing, but it's that he has all of these pitches, and he can throw all of them for strike, and it's just keeping hitters on their heel. Like he's right now, it feels like he's a young savant. He's a young savant on the hill, and that is very exciting for the Brewers. When is the last time we were this excited about a young player in the state of Wisconsin?
I don't think there's anybody. I mean, that's really playing well as a rookie. I mean, there were people we were excited about that haven't panned out to this level. I mean, Bucks, Packers, a rookie that's been this dominant? I don't think so.
Well, and it's hard, as you mentioned, to be this dominant in a sport where you're so reliant on other people around you. You know, you sort of mentioned the nakedness of the pitcher position. Yeah. Giannis comes to mind as far as the fortune of having him on the roster, and he was young, but he was so...
They didn't know what he was.
Correct. Raw, if you will, when they grabbed him, right? He was all arms and lanky and skinny and what's that word used? Dainty? Not for Giannis. Gangly. And so we didn't know that Giannis was going to be a unicorn. We didn't know he was going to be a one-of-one generational player. Maybe John Hammond would say that he did. But is there another player, Joshy, you can think of? I even mentioned Jabari Parker. I know when the Bucks got him, there was a ton of excitement, but it never played out or panned out the way that people hoped it would.
Brett's the closest comp.
Wow.
When Brett came in against Tampa, we lost that game, but then he comes in against Kansas City. No, not Cincinnati. I know it was his second year, but he was probably 23, same age. And then threw the touchdown to Kittrick Taylor, just because there were so many years of just losing.
Right.
People were just grasping at any little thing, and it's like, this guy could be it. Is that I think that might be the closest comp.
The other one that came to mind for me was it Brandon Jennings when he scored 50 points? Yeah,
but he
in terms of individual.
Brandon Jennings, nobody knows who the hell he is outside of Milwaukee.
Well, right, we're talking to a Milwaukee audience.
Well, he disparaged my guy Jermichael Finley one time, and I'll never forgive him for it. Yeah, I could call someone a moron and still be my guy. Moron is an endearing
Whatever you'd
term
like.
on the East Coast.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm telling you.
And then, what do we go back to? Robin Yount? as a young...
Well, listen, I got folks on the YouTube stream who are kind of coming correct for us. When Ryan Braun came in, that was a big deal. Cody said Ryan Braun came in and rocked it.
As a rookie?
Yes. Remember, there was that whole thing about them keeping him down and bringing him up for service time and, like, you know, wanting to maximize his service time in the majors.
Yeah.
But when he came up, boom. I mean, right away. Okay. That's probably true. I mean, I know that Ryan Braun, there's a little bit of a tarnish, if you will.
A taint.
But he certainly was exciting when he came up. And there was
I think we can retroactively sort of dismiss that one a little bit, knowing what we know now.
Fair.
I'm just talking about the excitement that we had for an athlete. You can't just whitewash history, Joshy, because you don't like the guy.
I remember being excited. I don't remember it being anything close to
I don't either. What year was that? Early 2000s?
Would that have been 2006, 7? I'm not sure.
And the thing that the pitching lends itself to is Miz had no hitters in perfect games going. Like, hitters are going to be out 3 out of 4 times. And there's going to, sure, you can have a home run, but it's really hard for an individual hitter to impress upon a game that much where it takes over. Like, this is national conversation.
Ryan Braun had a .324 batting average with 146 hits, 34 home runs, 97 RBI, and 91 runs scored in 113 games. His rookie season, he won Rookie of the Year.
That's pretty legit. That's good.
800-990-3776. When is the last time you remember being this excited? We're having a little gush fest over here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning about Jacob Miserowski and what his success means for the Milwaukee Brewers this season. Who is the last athlete? Is it Ryan Braun? I know I mentioned Jabari Parker. That never panned out. Giannis, maybe there was excitement, but if you said that you knew that Giannis was going to be Giannis, I'd call you a liar straight to your face. Like, that's just not how it was when they got him. Matthew Wangan saying he's still a kid, a lot of maturity. I love that he showed fire and passion in the game. His celebrations were for him, not disrespectful. It's like the CC Sabathia days back in 2008. 800-990-3776. Chef Ed says, what about Churio's rookie season? Not for me, man.
Yeah, it doesn't match the excitement. I mean, great rookie season.
It was
but
good.
This is different. I mean, he should be starting in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, Clayton Kershaw saying, I don't know how you hit him, how you hit his stuff. Pedro Martinez, one of the greatest pitchers of the modern era, heaping praise upon him in this way. It's...
And it was all of them, by the way. Yes. I was watching, like I said, the TBS TNT broadcast. It was Jimmy Rollins. It was Pedro Martinez. And you obviously heard Jeff Francoeur during the broadcast if you were watching. Brian Anderson, a familiar voice, he was doing the TBS TNT broadcast, so that was kind of nice because I always like to have that familiarity, the hometown voice. Nobody is more versed or knowledgeable about Miserowski from a national broadcaster standpoint than our very own Brian Anderson. So that was kind of cool. But it was universal. It was everybody, guys. We're not just saying 1 or 2 guys who were like, yeah, I'll take the pro, you take the cons. Like, people are seeing what this young man has. And yes, does he need to be consistent about it? Yes. But right now, there is no indication that he is slowing down. Slangs on Sports. Sarah Slangs, who is a researcher for MLB, said more than 30 strikeouts and 12 or fewer hits allowed in first 5 career outings, at least last 125 MLB seasons. The list is Jacob Miserowski and Freddie Peralta. The only 2 who have ever reached those milestones/thresholds. Let us know your last time you were this excited about a young athlete in the state of Wisconsin. 800-990-3776. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. We will obviously continue gushing about Miserowski and what his success means for the Milwaukee Brewers. Dare we start talking about a World Series run? Does that feel premature? Does that make you uncomfortable, Brewers fans? Let us know. We'll talk about it as the show rolls on.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have an accident. Actually, it's a semi-fire on eastbound 94 on the ramp to go northbound on 41 in the Zoo interchange. It's a semi that caught on fire. They were able to separate the cab from the trailer, so there was no damage that way. But the two right lanes are blocked right now, so we're seeing big delays coming in from the county line to that point. The other issue is going to be on 43 northbound, just north of Hampton. We have another truck fire. That trailer was completely gutted. That's off on the right shoulder. However, that right lane is closed for the cleanup. Now, this is a big old bottleneck because we do have construction with that left lane blocked as well. So you do want to be extra careful and try and avoid that whole area if you can. Delays coming up from North Avenue. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, a high of 76 at the lake, 81 inland tonight. Mostly clear, cooler, low of 61. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Windows, windows, windows. You hear all about everyone's windows and how theirs are the greatest. I'll tell you, our windows are the best as well. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I'm right there with you. We've taken the most trusted brand in windows, Pella, and paired them with such an outstanding business that we will deliver results to you at your home. Siding Unlimited has won Pella's prestigious 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited is the company to install your new windows.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Gabe, it'll change your life. Any barbecue you eat for the rest of your life will be measured against Buc-ee's.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We are reacting to an unbelievable outing by Jacob Miserowski. And look, maybe unbelievable is wrong. Maybe we should start believing. Maybe there is going to come a time where this kid goes out and does these really impressive stuff and we go, yeah, what else is new? Because it is who he is. It is the player he is going to be. Jamie weighing in saying, I'm afraid to talk about World Series because all it would take is one injury and missing some time. But if this team can stay healthy, watch out in all caps. 800-990-3776. What you?
Just a little rain. A little bit, because it's me. How long do we have him for? It's a fair question.
You're saying because it's the Brewers.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to pay him.
Well, they have him as long as they have him.
Which is how long?
I'm in the process of figuring out club control.
Churio did us a favor by signing that deal, right? Braun actually, at the time, was a discount. Pitchers are different, man. Pitchers like to get paid, and they get paid. So, what is free agency? 7 years?
It's a long window. I think the window. It's a big window, at least for now. Let's see. Dave from Aaron weighing in saying it's not just the Miz. The playoffs are looking bright with all of our pitching through the bullpen too. We have electricity. Yes, they were talking about that on the broadcast last night as well. Don't get fooled by thinking that the Brewers only have, an impressive rotation. We've talked about Freddie. We've talked about Woodruff. We've talked about some of the other guys as well. But you saw what the bullpen went out there and did last night as well, right? Because that's what teams want to do. They want to get the starter out of there, get to the bullpen, hopefully make some noise. Dodgers couldn't do anything. That was what was so impressive. Let's go out to the phone lines. John in Delafield on. We're asking you this morning, when is the last time you were this excited about a young talent in the state of Wisconsin? Good morning, John.
Good morning, guys. Don't know about this one, but being a Badger fan, Ron Dane, when he came in for the Badgers, and I don't know what he did his first year, but you're telling me that every time he stepped on the field, we were excited watching that guy when he got the ball.
What year did he win the Heisman? Junior?
He won it his senior year.
Oh, his senior year.
His freshman year could be arguably talked about as his best year, but his senior year, he had one more touchdown, a few less yards, but that was in less games.
That's a good comp.
So in 12 games, Ron Dane had 1,863 yards and 18 touchdowns as a freshman.
Wow.
That's a good comp.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good. That's a good showing for a young player.
And we're talking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Is it really? Oh, my God.
Sorry, Chew.
1996.
Didn't want to bring you back down to reality.
Fair. I bring everyone else down, so it's only fitting.
What goes around comes around.
Brings me down.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
We are here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy just following Jacob Miserowski's Rookie of the Year odds in the National League at our friends over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And it makes me laugh. Minus 143. Minus 143.
You screwed up.
I didn't screw up. I actually made that trip. I got plus 270.
Jen,
you did? You put money down?
Jen,
right.
if you lost odds that were 5, 6x of what they could be, because remember we talked about it at 1,200.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
1,200.
Right at the beginning.
You're still doing great. You got in at a great time. I have to give you credit for that. But plus 1,200. Imagine holding $100 plus 1,200 ticket right now.
Oh my God, that'd be nice. Well, as a degenerate gambler, what would you do with 100?
Hey,
would you put it on the NLCS or the World Series?
Well, I would have put it last night on the 6.5 over for strikeouts. Over 6.5 for strikeouts. But going forward,
yeah. I mean, they have to win the NLCS. Or just get there.
There's different levels of bets.
Plus 2,500. Whatever the plus 2,500 is.
I'm looking. National League 2025. Brewers are plus 2,500. So that's where it is.
So
National
they'd have
League.
to win the NLCS.
Yes.
And then it's plus 4,000.
Go to the World Series. And then it jumps to
what
plus 4,000.
What would you guys do?
Now, just so you know, if they win the NLCS, those odds are going to change significantly, Chew. They're not going to be plus 4,000 for the World Series anymore. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
How about this one from Kevin in the 317? Graham Mertz, especially after his first game, he threw 5 touchdowns against Illinois. And to be honest, it was 2020. It was a little bit of like a, where are we in the sports world?
As a leading member of the cult of Graham Mertz, the Kansas Cannon, we called him. The Graham Mertz thing lasted exactly 1 game.
1 week.
Yeah. It was an electric game, and I thought, wow, the Heisman is here. It's the first time in how long? They've got a quarterback. We're talking college football playoff. And then quickly you started to see other things happen, and that went away.
But we're already projecting Miz in the Hall of Fame. Fair?
No.
I'm projecting him to.
I'm already thinking Randy Johnson. Right?
I'm talking. I think.
I mean, there's no way he falls off the map.
Other than a long issue with injuries.
Are you heebie-jeebying this thing?
He just did.
Are you heebie-jeebying this?
I was close, but he just took it way too far.
I think he's a Cy Young winner. I think he's
Don't suck
a
up
surefire.
Now. It's already out there. You can't bring it back.
That's how young
No, I don't
pitchers-
think this guy. I think he's just too talented. He's going to be a stud.
The thing is, the caveat is always barring injury.
Of
right?
course, of course.
You know, and Tommy John's one of those things that just sort of lingers out there for pitchers, right? There are some people who think it's not a matter of if you get Tommy John, it's when you get Tommy John now when you're a major league pitcher. So again, crossing our fingers, barring injury. I got a lot of reaction rolling in, guys. 800-990-3776. Backyard Brews reminds us that Miz is under team control for 6 years. I've seen that number popping up a lot. Internet signup says pitching, it was Ben Sheets. We had been horrible. He had just won the gold medal in his first game. His first games in Milwaukee were must see. 800-990-3776. Meanwhile, Jalian says never bring up Graham Mertz again.
Fair.
I understand it. Will saying Giannis and Jabari Parker's rookie year. We mentioned Jabari Parker again, never really panned out, never really had the level of success that we were hoping he would have. Giannis also, like, now, yes, but when Giannis was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, there's no chance you knew he was going to elevate his game. He was going to be this dominant. He was going to be this version of himself. Like, you couldn't have.
I looked it up and looked up his stats. His first four, he won the most improved player in his fourth year. And it wasn't until 2 years later when he won an MVP. So it was building and the excitement was certainly rising for Giannis, but he was a slow burn. And it paid off and it's now been great, but there was no like, you have to watch this game against the Detroit Pistons to see what Giannis is going to do. And even his second year, like you weren't even thinking about that.
What was the Miz? He was a first-round pick, obviously, right? What number?
I had the numbers in front of me. Now I lost it. I'm
just trying to think of young guys that I played with that I'm like, right away. Didn't know that. Like, I remember Donald Driver sweating it in '99 so bad that he was going to make the team. And you just know. Joe Andrews, another one. His brothers would just grind me to death.
He was round 2 overall pick 63.
Wow.
Out of Crowder.
A lot of misses there. Happens.
Yes. And the big story about the Miz was obviously we see the potential, we see the velocity, all that stuff, but can he be consistent, hit the strike zone, and what is he going to end up being? Is he going to end up being one of those relievers who you can, they have 2 pitchers they can count on, so you're going to end up being a closer, which is still valuable, or is all 4 of his pitches, which they have been to this point.
I thought his curve last night was great.
Yes, but you didn't know that at the time.
No.
Because all these pitchers can throw 4 pitches, but it's what's effective against Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Because if you're throwing out a bad third option, they're just going to take advantage of it.
Remember, there was a chance that Miserowski would have gone the college route as well. He was supposed to play at LSU, where he and Paul Skeens would have been teammates.
Wow.
So they ended up winning the College World Series. Can you imagine if they had the Miz out there as well? Just total domination. I love that Jeff is weighing in with this. The Graham Mertz game was during COVID. No one in the stands. He dominated Illinois. Thought he was the greatest Badgers quarterback to ever come along. Unfortunately, as Joshy said, it was only one game. You guys have any idea who the sideline reporter for that game, Wisconsin versus Illinois, was?
You.
That's exactly right.
Are you right? All right.
That's exactly right. I interviewed Graham Mertz after that game, and I thought, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we bleep and go. Wisconsin has a QB, finally, for once. They're going to make some major moves. They're going to be climbing up the charts, climbing up the rankings, and then
wow.
Never happened. 800-990-3776 reacting this morning to the Miz, to the Brewers. Just another incredible outing. And this has gone sort of, we've missed this, but in all of the pomp and circumstance surrounding last night's game, we sort of have forgotten that they won the series. Like, today's game is just, you want to win as many games as you can, but winning the series against the Dodgers, that's opening up a lot of eyes.
Who's
I tell
on
you
the
what.
mound?
Today, good question.
I think it's Quintana.
Okay.
Against Glass now?
Yeah, they were talking to Tyler on the broadcast last night. I'm just looking because you're right.
Yeah.
That's exactly who the matchup is today.
Before we move on from any Brewers discussion here, There was one thing that happened that the Miz and his 12 strikeouts and dominating the Dodgers has kind of put in the background, but I think is worth listening to for us.
Manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, Murph, thanks for spending some time with us. Got to get your thoughts, what you've seen so far from your flamethrower, Jacob Miserowski. It's pretty elite stuff here as Monasterio sends one to left. Get out of here. It's deep. Caught at the wall. Man, we thought we had the good vibes going there, Murph.
Credit to FanDuel Network there. Monasterio was on hitting, and he thought he got a home run, and it was a catch at the warning track, and he let out a little whoopsies there on the live broadcast.
Wait, Monasterio did or Murphy did?
Murphy did. During his in-game interview, he thought he had him. He thought he had a home run. You know, they're putting the Brewers up. Look, let's take a oops. Said a little. No.
For whatever it's worth, I think Monasterio did that again later in an at-bat. Drove it deep. Warning track power. 800-990-3776. Matt in Lake Mills says, not a rookie, but when Rodgers went in against the Cowboys when Brett got hurt, what would that have been, 2007? He said that was a level of excitement that he hadn't experienced in a while. Keep getting us your reaction. When is the last time that you felt this excited about a Wisconsin sports athlete? We all have Ms. Mania, except for Chew, who doesn't want us.
I do.
Oh, good. Oh,
no, not gush. You said it though in the break. What?
I guess the kids call it glazing.
Okay,
we don't gush, we glaze.
Okay,
we don't glaze on this program.
Why?
I don't like it.
It's a no glazing zone.
Yes.
Well, what'd they say earlier? He was spoogey or something like that, or
what?
Gooey. Oh my God.
Gooey.
Oh my God. Please go to break. Please, for the love of God.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Still got this problem on northbound 43. It is a vehicle fire. It was a semi on northbound 43, basically just north of Hampton, and that has the right lane blocked. So just watch out for that. It is a bottleneck heading through that. On the southbound side, we got some backups basically from Good Hope Road all the way down to Hampton. And then we've got the other big one. This is on eastbound 94 on the ramp to get onto northbound 41. In the zoo interchange, the two right lanes are still blocked with this vehicle fire. It was a semi that caught on fire. The cab was able to detach from the trailer, so that didn't get burnt up, but they are still doing the cleanup of this whole thing. So delays all the way back to Sunny Slope Road. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy, a high of 76 at the lake, 81 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, cooler with a low of 61. Weather's brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center.
Stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to take care of yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song, and therapy. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough, but getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
Modernizing business technology is critical for a positive impact on efficiency and reducing operating costs. That's exactly what Tri-City National Bank found out when they called on James Imaging Systems. Listen to Bank CIO Robert Prang.
We also went through a large retooling of our print environment, changing from where we had almost 200 printers.
All the way down to just 97 printers. That's managed print services from James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
Robert, would you recommend managed print services from James Imaging Systems?
Yes, in a heartbeat, I would recommend James.
Learn more at jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm telling you, don't doubt his story, because he heebie-jeebies at certain times to miss field goals.
Yeah.
Gabe, I showed you how he does the heebie-jeebies,
Heebie-jeebie,
right?
heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie.
You take your
heebie-jeebie.
fingers and you rub them back and forth on your thigh, and you go heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie. Swear the guy bats 100%. So to call him a liar, and he puts a curse on you?
Look, I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, you are.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Shefty on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Tony Windorf and Associates. You know, Tony used to babysit my kids. I'm really getting old. Shefty will be on tomorrow, by the way, just like the moves made at the pros. Tony Windorf and Associates, First Weber Real Estate Services, helps people make their own big moves every day. Trusted knowledge, superior service. They're real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, make the move and get in touch with Tony Windorf and Associates.
Robert in the Falls weighing in saying Brandon Jennings scored 55 points in one of his first games, and everyone was understandably excited about his future. Unfortunately, he never really played at that level again. He was good, not great. And Ryan from Aguanago says Russell Wilson's first game as a Badger was amazing, and he followed it up all season long. Two more suggestions for our when was the last time you were this excited about a young Wisconsin sports talent? Keep getting us your reaction this morning. And I know people keep saying Brewers probably need a bat. I believe it was Jeff Passan, who was on Wilde and Tausch earlier this week, who said that they are a bat away from a World Series contender. I said this, you guys made fun of me. Maybe it was deserved. The proof will, I guess, shake out as the season goes on. But could Andrew Vaughn be that guy? Could Andrew Vaughn be that bat? I mean, they've already won the trade, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that he has produced, even in the small sample size we have, I don't want to go out chasing, and I believe it was Passan who also said there's not a ton of bats out there on the market. If the Brewers are buyers at the deadline and do think that they could lock up their lineup with a bat, I don't want to go chasing at the expense of the farm system. And I understand prospects haven't done anything at the major league level yet, so it's always a crapshoot if they're going to. There are some exciting players in the Brewers farm system, and I know that fans are very attached to them, and fans don't really want to see them go elsewhere for a shot at a World Series run.
Well, he was the third pick in the draft, so a lot of potential. I mean, to be that drafted that early. You know, you see it in football here and there where rookies, high draft picks don't work out. They need a new change of scenery, and they become better players. I'm not saying the guy's going to become an all-star overnight, but all he's got to do is contribute.
You're talking about Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is, again, you're right, third overall pick in the 2019 draft. Hit 72 home runs in his first 4 seasons with the White Sox, and then he had a slump. He stunk.
Yeah.
He was demoted to AAA. And then obviously the Brewers, we just talked about the Savali trade when Savali said, I don't want to be here anymore. And they grabbed Vaughn. Could he be the guy? Could he be the bat that they were hoping for, looking for? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, Chew, especially when you talk about all of the potential that the league saw in him early on.
And they're going to go through a dip. You know what I mean? Things are great right now, but we know what happens in baseball. At some point in time, they're going to lose 4, 5, 6 in a row. Just don't panic. Just keep Chicago within earshot, and you're going to be fine. My guess is 2 teams will come out of this division, and as we all know, who the hell knows what happens when you get to the playoffs, and why not us? We've been saying that for how many years now? So, what I love about this team is no one gave them a shot at the beginning of the year. I don't care. Vegas or whatever, their win totals were really low. I mean, what's their projection? Are there projections? Are they projected to win 90-something now?
I haven't seen recent projections.
No?
We could pull it up, certainly. Josh, are you efforting that, or you want me to work on that over here?
I like where they're at.
Look.
I like where they're at. Kind of under the radar. Miz is kind of bringing them up a little bit up, but they're fine.
Well, the Brewers announced yesterday that Rhys Hoskins, is going to miss at least the next few weeks. They're saying now mid to late August for him as he deals with that thumb injury. So this is an opportunity for Andrew Vaughn, who, again, like you said, has done it, to take advantage of the change of scenery, take advantage of the new organization, take advantage of the injury that is getting him in the lineup. And again, do I think that it is a guarantee that he ends up, regaining the form of his early years? No, it's not a guarantee. But the fact that he has done it makes me feel more optimistic, and it would be incredible. It would be, once again, a tip of the cap to the Brewers front office, Chew, if they found a guy in a fortuitous trade who ends up being the difference for them in the lineup as the season goes on.
They just need a guy that can hit dingers. Not a ton, but have the ability to go deep, and he can. I mean, 72, you said, in his first 4 years with the White Sox. It's fine,
So Baseball Prospectus has PECOTA, which is sort of projecting using the stats from the season and what's going to happen for the rest of it, has the Brewers at about 85 wins.
What? Why does that seem low?
It does, because they're still factoring in the start of the season. I think at this point, we can erase that from our memories of what this team really is now. And you can only project so far with the Miserowski and Brandon Woodruff added. So we certainly feel better now than what we're told the previous, output has been from the team.
Okay.
Like, if you were to shorten that and say for the past 2 months, how many would the Brewers be projected to win? It'd be way different.
I wonder also if it is the division. You got the Cubs, who are atop with 54 wins. You got the Cardinals, who are 49. Cincinnati, 46. Obviously, we've talked about the Pittsburgh, I almost said Steelers. Pirates, just went into autopilot there. But like the 49 wins that the St. Louis Cardinals have, that's near the top, again, taking the top teams out of the division, or of the league, rather. So the Cardinals are obviously, we've talked about how they have ebbed and flowed in recent years. But, they're probably looking at some of those games and going, you got to play the Cubs how many times, Joshy, in the season? I always forget this number, by the way. How many times do you play the division? Is it 18 or 6 series of 3 games a pop? I don't know. I got to.
So the Cubs are projected to have 96 wins, which is the second best.
How do you go 96 when they have 54 right now? The Brewers have 52. How are the Brewers 85 and the Cubs 96?
You're getting mad at just math right now, and I don't know how to.
I'm more of an English guy.
But you know what it is, too? It's probably they go through the rest of the schedule and they look and see who they play and what team. You know what I mean? Like when you go win, loss, win, loss,
we just
loss,
beat the
loss.
Dodgers in a series.
Yes. These numbers, in a month, these numbers are probably going to change a lot if the Brewers stick on where they're at.
Okay.
It's just such a big. I mean, if you remember the start of the season, it was. The sky is falling.
Yeah.
And giving up historic amount of home runs in that first series and the first 2, how they came out, like that stuff's all being factored into what is now about the halfway point of the season.
So it's algorithms that are the problem.
It is the algorithms.
Okay.
You could blame the algorithm.
Never been a fan.
I've got Tone James weighing in many, many times on the YouTube stream saying big dog, big dog, big dog, roof, 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 big dog. So I guess a vote for Glenn Robinson then from an excitement standpoint, the last time you were this excited about a young talent. And what would that have been? In the late 90s, early 2000s?
Around there.
I know it was Purple Bucks. I know it was the Purple Bucks generation. 800-990-3776. Keep getting us your reaction. Jonathan Taylor had 1,977 yards rushing his freshman year. That from Cheesehead Bucky.
That's a good year.
Yeah, and that was the year he wasn't even really getting the ball that much. There was the big Big Ten championship game where it seemed like every time he touched the ball was a 80-yard touchdown. So there was a lot of excitement there, but he was also a slow burn. It was as the season went, he kept popping up and having big games. It wasn't like this is the best running back in baseball. Best running back in college football conversation right away.
1,900 yards? And that's not in the conversation?
Didn't she say 1,000 yards in his first one?
He said 1977. I'd have to look it up and see if that
sounds like a lot.
I'd have to fact check it. I still think that one of the most egregious errors in college football was Jonathan Taylor not being invited to New York for the Heisman. That to me was just unforgivable. But again, maybe my homer is showing. 800-990-3776. Tone James says, love you, Jen. Ha ha ha. I'm guessing it's because I gave him the barking of the big dog.
What about Dwayne Wade?
It's a good one. How do we forget about Dwayne Wade? He obviously sat out his first year.
Yeah.
So there was all these like whispers, right, of what this kid was doing in practice at the old gym, just lighting it up, but he couldn't play because he was academically ineligible. But yeah, I think you're right. Like there was a lot of hype, and then he went out there and delivered over the course of the rest of his career at Marquette. That's a good one, Shu. I like Dwayne Wade.
Jonathan Taylor did have 100 yards in his freshman year. 13 touchdowns. Only to then 2194, 2003, 13, 16, 21 touchdowns.
Wow.
And his best Heisman finish ever was 5th.
Huh. Okay. There you have it.
We will take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff for us to get to as we continue gushing over glazing over Jacob Miserowski and your Milwaukee Brewers. Still a lot of stuff to get to this morning. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What's the one thing you say almost weekly here on the show?
Let's eat.
Try again.
I don't know.
What's the one thing you've got?
Big boobs.
You've got time.
Oh, time.
You've got time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We got there.
Took off. I needed a few more hints.
Yeah. You put you in a... That's Gabe's fault.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Mark in the 414 says, hype for Sheffield in the late 80s was real. We were all excited. Too bad he threw away that opportunity for Milwaukee. Hall of Fame stats. That from Booze in the 414. Meanwhile, Ryan from McGuanago says, Taylor was real good as a freshman, but not even close to Dane. Dane put up numbers his freshman year, barely playing his first 3 games. He started game 4 that year. He played less games. And then he also adds that Melvin Gordon not being invited to New York was actually a bigger snub than Jonathan Taylor. No Adam Schefter this morning. He's going to join us tomorrow. For those of you who are out there asking, we will talk to Adam Schefter tomorrow. Lots of great suggestions, though. Clinton in the 262 also saying Derek Turnbow was the Brewers' top guy until the bobblehead curse. The other thing that I was thinking of, and this is not a young guy, so hear me out on this, was, do you remember when Trevor Hoffman was a member of the Milwaukee Brewers? Yeah. And again, not a young guy, so he doesn't really fit the criteria for the conversation we are having this morning. But I remember every time Trevor Hoffman took the mound for the Brewers and Hell's Bells would play, the electricity in the stadium, the goosebumps on the arm, like that was one of those moments that it's solidified as a core memory for me on the Wisconsin sports landscape.
Where are all the Packer comps?
So someone said Clay Matthews. When Clay Matthews was drafted, there was a lot of excitement for him.
Nothing like this, though.
Well, how many rookies of the year have the Packers had?
Oh, I looked that up earlier. It goes back a long time. Like,
does it?
Not a lot of recent ones.
Yeah, it doesn't. It feels like the Packers, because they are so stable in modern history. It's
Eddie Lacy, 2013, last rookie of the year. Yeah, someone did say,
was there excitement? I mean, Buckley was 5th. Tony Mandrich, there had to be for Tony Mandrich. Incredible bulk.
Yeah, probably some excitement.
Massive.
Again, I don't remember it, so
yeah. I think there's also a difference here between anticipation and excitement for a guy versus actually going out and proving they're worth it, the excitement. Like that, those two things lining up are the rare lining up of those expectations and performance that we have to sort of search and parse through.
I wonder what the I mean, when is the last time the Packers had the 2nd pick in the draft? If ever.
I could find that number.
I just wonder if he was aligned.
Am I misremembering there being a lot of hype around A.J. Hawk? Am I misremembering that? I feel like there was when he was drafted by the Packers.
Yeah, there certainly was, because wasn't he fourth overall or fifth overall?
Yeah, he was fifth.
So the Packers had to have a top 5 pick in the NFL draft 6 times. Paul Hornung, Randy Duncan, and then they continue to list them out there. So they're not typically drafting that high.
No. I mean, there's a lot of excitement around Golden, right? I mean, not Misworthy, and he hasn't really stepped on the field.
There is a lot. Although, did you guys see the video I sent you yesterday where he's talking about going out and getting that Lambeau trophy?
Yeah, veterans don't really like that stuff. Keep your mouth shut and play football. Do something, and then you can talk.
Well, but also it's the Lombardi trophy, not the Lambeau trophy.
I don't know if you're catching the point here.
I have listening issues, I'm not going to lie. Rookies, compared to when, this is kind of get off my turf, but the veterans treated us so mean. I want a sorry.
Still holding on to that.
I am. I see one guy today, and because I became successful, he wants to be my buddy now. I'm like, get out of here, you a-hole. You were the biggest. What?
Who specifically should we try and get on the program to get an apology for bullying you as a rookie?
For being mean to you.
Frank.
Doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
No.
He's not up yet.
I got a lot of suggestions rolling in still. This is crazy. I'm happy. I'm glad that people have all these fond memories of young athletes in the state of Wisconsin. We will keep it going. Next.
Eastbound 94, we've got delays because of an accident. Technically, it was a vehicle fire, semi-fire on the ramp to get onto northbound 41 in the zoo. 2 right lanes are blocked. We got delays all the way back to Moreland Road with this. It's a slow one. And then beyond that, at about 68th Street, we have an accident off on the left shoulder, so that's also going to be affecting your ride. A new accident now, northbound 41, right about at Mayfair Road. That's off on the left shoulder there. And the other vehicle fire, it was a semi-fire northbound 43 north of Hampton. The right lane remains closed, so that means you've only got 1 lane to work with, so heavy ride from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Tonight, stop out to see Generation Z at 7. Enjoy live music at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park tonight with Generation Z. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, a high of 76 at the lake, 81 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, cooler, a low of 61. Weather is brought to you by Avondale Roofing. Raise the roof and your standards with Avondale Roofing, your trusted partner for over 30 years. Remember, they get on top so you don't have to. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Real Estate Services, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We have sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
My son got yelled at last night because everyone walks down here, and when I have to go out to the mailbox or something, I got to look both ways to make sure no one's coming because I don't want to talk to anybody.
Hey, Ray. How you doing? Good. You know that guy? He works at the restaurant Moho in your hotel. The W Hotel.
I thought you were talking about cars.
Yeah, nope.
I just assumed you were
Even
trying
more
to avoid
dangerous.
getting hit by a truck.
I think he'd rather get hit by the truck than probably talk to his neighbors.
Why didn't you say hello to him? You know him. I know. He wanted to do a stop and chat. I didn't want to do a stop and chat.
Stop and chat? Where do you come up with these things, stop and
He
chat?
wanted to stop and chat with me, and I don't know him well enough for a stop and chat.
Is that true, Chew? Would you rather get hit by a truck than talk to your neighbors?
How hard?
Like a 3-day hospital stay.
I mean, if you don't look, you can get caught with 3 people, and then you're there for 20 minutes.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight.
Keep getting us your reaction this morning. The last time you were this excited, or just excited about a young player, the way that Wisconsin and Milwaukee is excited about Jacob Miserowski. Dave from Aaron saying, what about John Axford?
I think we're getting into like the cult phenomenon era, especially with like the Derek Turnbows, where flash in the pan and certainly excitement about them, but they were kind of, we all understood, didn't we, to a degree, what was going on with those players.
Little Sam Congato.
Yeah, like there was excitement, but there was barely anticipation. It's not the same to me.
Bill weighing in, and he says Lou Alcindor, number 1 pick for the Bucks in 1969. In his rookie year, he averaged 28 points, 14 rebounds per game, led the Bucks to 56 wins, won NBA Rookie of the Year, etc., etc., etc.
That might be the best one.
Sure, but again, so long ago.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
Like, I get it. It's easy to say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and go, yes, one of the greatest to ever play the game. But there's got to be other levels of excitement. And maybe there isn't. Maybe this is like new territory here for Wisconsin. Maybe it is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jacob Miserowski. I don't know. It feels like we've got little tiny peaks that are popping in between on the timeline. But maybe there is nothing that compares to the excitement level that we have. Justin says, just tuning in, has Jackson Churio been mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we have talked about Jackson Churio. T Plush is another one, I think, Joshy, that kind of falls into that cult. But you're right. There was a level of excitement surrounding these guys, the Turnbows, the Tony Plush. I know I mentioned Trevor Hoffman, and he's not a young player, but I'm just telling you that when you were at the ballpark and they played Hell's Bells, something happened, right? It changed my DNA, if you will. It was a very cool thing to be a part of. So there have been those sort of little peaks along the timeline.
I think the sort of secret recipe here we're looking for the comps to Miz is anticipation, which is also met with results. The performance. Yeah. Correct.
Well, if we're just getting away from the fact that he's a rookie and he's young, the closest thing has to be CeCe. Because that time was insane. They haven't been in the playoffs in a while. He's pitching like every other start.
Right, and even
that
then,
was insane.
Even then, I think people were excited, but no one thought this guy's going to go out there and pitch all the time and be taking no hitters and like complete games. Like that all was a surprise, and the anticipation continued to build after that. But when the trade happened, it was a giant move. It made waves. But no one thought, well, this guy's going to go out there and just basically take control every third or fourth day and dominate.
And go deep.
Right.
Right?
And I think the other distinguishing feature here is the one guy versus the core.
Yeah.
Because I do like the suggestion from Augie from Fredonia, who says, for me, it was when the young crew all made the majors and played together, Braun, Weeks, Hardy, Fielder, and Hart. Yes, again, unprecedented levels of excitement for what that young lineup could do. But also, we're talking about one guy here, and one guy sort of being that, that one element that we all are pretty pumped about. Robin Yount, that from Kevin in Racine. We did mention Robin Yount pretty early in the conversation, in addition to Paul Molitor, as far as young guys who were exciting for the Brewers. And look, the Brewers in that era had some very young, exciting pitchers as well. It wasn't just the position players that got people excited. But again, what is all this building towards? For me, it's building towards what Jeff Passan said on Wilde and Tausch earlier this week, which is, could this team be real close to a World Series contender? And I'm wondering how Brewers fans are feeling about the WS phrase. Are we saying it? Are we avoiding it? Does it make us uncomfortable? Are we trying to enjoy the ride, enjoy the regular season? Do you start fantasizing about it? Do you start looking at the players they have and the success they're having? Oh, by the way, winning a series against the Dodgers yesterday is nothing to sneeze at. Chew, do you think it's fair, or is it
totally fair?
Is it elevating hopes to a point that isn't realistic?
Totally fair. Why? We do it with other sports. We do it with the Packers all the time. When they're inside top 10 power rankings, we talk about it. Talk about it with the Bucks, championship or bust. Not so much this year, but years before. So what? Because they're a small market team, we're not allowed to talk about it? You heard Passan. They think he's one hitter away from having the potential to make it to the World Series. So ride it. I'm all about it. I think there is a little bit of a comp or comparing this to when we played in the 90s, because they hadn't won the thing in 30 years or whatever the number was. And the Brewers they've never won it, but it's been since 82 since they've been back. So I say talk away until Murph says don't, which he probably does behind closed doors.
Like it's starting to affect my locker room or my clubhouse.
Players love it too. Especially when you're playing a game like baseball and it's 162 and there's games you go out there, you're like, I just ain't feeling it today. That extra juice will get you through.
Chris weighing in on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always stream the show every single morning on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee. He says Frank Kaminsky during the Final Four runs. Living in the Sheboygan area, it was also cool to watch Sam Decker in high school during his time with the Badgers. Were talked about a lot. And the guys just did the Made 'em Believe event last week up at the Orpheum in Madison, sort of reliving some of those moments from a decade ago when that team was so successful. There was a lot of excitement around Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker et al., not Ben Brust.
Yeah, well, and the difference there is there wasn't the anticipation, though. That's for sure. Frank, as a freshman, averaged 7.7 minutes a game. But once he arrived in that 13-14 and you saw them performing like later in the season, that's when you started to make the, oh gosh, this is something we're not familiar with as Badgers basketball fans.
Did he win Player of the Year?
He did.
Did he really?
Yes.
Is that the Wood?
That is the name of the award.
I'm hot.
You can't stop him now.
Keep it rolling.
Throwing Biz.
Is that high heat?
Throwing heat.
And we're going to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I want to get to this other conversation because Joshy reminded us that there's a big change coming to the travel world. Big change. And it's been a long time coming. We're going to talk about that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 41, we have another vehicle fire fully engulfed. The left lane's blocked just past Drexel. So watch for those delays heading through there. Of course, we've got the other one on 94 eastbound on the ramp to go northbound on 41. Two right lanes remain blocked with that one. Another crash, regular crash on the left on eastbound 94 at 68th Street. We've also got a crash on 41 northbound at Mayfair Road on the left shoulder there. And another crash southbound 41 at Good Hope Road on the left shoulder there. And that along with the other semi-fire that we had earlier this morning that still has the right lane blocked just north of Hampton. Big delays coming up from Fond du Lac. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ for Storm King forecast today, partly cloudy, a high of 76 at the lake, 81 inland tonight, mostly clear, cooler, a low of 61. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wrap up the first half of the season with the Brewers as they take on the Nationals July 11th through the 13th. Kick the weekend off with the crew's annual celebration of black culture at the Negro Leagues tribute game on Friday the 11th. Then your next can't-miss giveaway arrives on Saturday the 12th when the first 25,000 fans will get a 90s throwback jersey presented by CBS 58. Grab your seats at Brewers.com.
It's been over 2 years since Bobby Carpenter had regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. He needed relief from knee pain, but he wanted to avoid surgery.
I thought I might have to have my knee scoped, had some injuries, some lingering pain from stuff that I had been dealing with from years of playing professional football, and things had kind of flared up again. I started talking to a friend of mine who's orthopedic, and he's like, well, try to avoid surgery if you can.
And you absolutely can avoid surgery. QC Kinetics provides patients with state-of-the-art regenerative treatments, orthobiologics from your own body that help heal and restore damaged, aching joints. And we'll let Bobby tell you about that.
It was all of a sudden that one day, a couple months later, I was here, let's go jog, let's try to see what I could do. And the more I did, I was pain-free with it, and it was actually a pretty remarkable process.
Before going under the knife, see if you're a candidate for non-surgical joint pain treatments at QC Kinetics. Call them today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Milwaukee just got hotter. Announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. We'll beat your best price by $500 or we'll pay you $500 cash. Guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose, you're sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss Ewald's Buys of Summer sales event going on now.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
See dealer for details. Expires month end.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Happened. Passengers at U.S. airports no longer have to remove their shoes during regular TSA checks. And what this should serve as is a reminder that you should never take your shoes off on an airplane. Okay? Now we're not taking them off at TSA. You leave them on the planes. I don't want to see your piggies. I don't need to see your socks. Leave your damn shoes on. Chewy, are you surprised by this move by TSA to now say, actually, probably not hiding bombs in your shoes?
Not surprised. It's time, but now I'm weighing whether TSA pre is actually worth it.
Ooh,
because
interesting.
That's Ange always likes to wear the boots that have some metal in it for whatever reason.
Yeah, they're
But
called
you still
bleep
don't-
kickers.
you don't
She's
have-
wearing her
yeah.
bleep kickers.
You don't have to take them off, obviously, at TSA pre, but you do at. And lately, when we fly to Tampa back and forth, the TSA pre line is longer than the regular line.
A lot of people have the TSA
So-
pre-check.
I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
What are you going to do? Some research?
Yeah. Although, do you think the whatever it is, the radar detector or whatever, is more sensitive?
Radar detector. Let's
Wha-
pause. Let's pause there. What do we think that thing's actually?
I don't know. X-ray machine.
There we go. What does a radar detector do?
Let it go. Just let it go. But you think it's more sensitive in the regular TSA as opposed to pre?
What? Really? You think they've got like an A TSA machine and a B
Well,
TSA
you don't
machine?
you don't have to take computer or iPad out
Mhm.
when you go TSA pre, and I think you do in regular TSA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But that's not a game changer.
And even that, some places are like, you can just leave it on top. You can have other stuff around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they're doing there is these people have been determined to not be as much of a potential.
Yeah.
So we don't have to take as much caution.
Well, Joshua, you have a theory about TSA just generally speaking. What did you call it? It was a fantastic phrase you used this morning.
Security theater is the way I believe it to be. There was one instance of one person ever with something with their shoes, and then every single person therefore after had to remove their shoes. Now, there's always going to be people trying to do nefarious things, getting things through customs, all sorts of stuff like that. But with the way the technology has developed, it's pretty easy to determine if somebody has a wick sticking out of their shoe and there is devices in them. Like most of the times you look at your bottom of the sole of your shoe, it's going to show up as like a rubber. And there's been many places who have done things that have saw TSA, even though it feels so strict and you can get caught and pulled aside and your stuff taken apart, that if somebody's truly trying to conceal things, it's probably easier than you would think, and it's more of a danger, but it gives the illusion of, and I think accurately, like, hey, there's more here to be worried about. But I don't think shoes are the things that are going to stop. Like, removing your shoes isn't going to make the difference. I think that's the big thing.
Are you sensitive to foot odor? Is that
Am I sensitive to it?
Well, I'm just asking.
I mean, it offends me.
Like, I grew up with my mother who would sprawl on the couch and her feet smelled like vinegar. So I just kind of got over it, I guess. But like BO drives me nuts.
Oh, interesting.
Which is weird because
I'll put deodorant on, so you're
Angie
good.
likes BO. I'll come back for a workout and she'll stick her nose in my pit. Just like this, which is a weird fetish.
He just revealed a lot of personal information in the last 30 seconds.
I'm thinking that you may be sensitive to foot odor.
I just don't like the idea. You shouldn't take your shoes off on an airplane.
It's yucky.
Like, just generally speaking, your feet stink, right? Your socks smell, your shoes smell, some worse than others. Obviously, there is a spectrum.
Even if I can't smell your feet and you got ugly feet, I don't want to be looking at
What
those things.
What about wearing sneakers or whatever with no socks?
That's going to make your shoes smell.
Very.
Yes. And that, I guess I don't know. It really doesn't bother me because it's mostly my own smell.
You seem to be rather impervious to scents, seeing as you don't change your socks. You don't always change
Well,
your
now we know that it's Mama Chew who is sitting on the couch with her vinegar feet. I mean.
Well, I can only smell out of one nostril because when I went to have my concussion test done at Harvard, he ran a test on me, and I had no idea I can only smell out of one nostril.
Which one is it?
I have no idea.
Well, I feel like we need to do a sniff test now. Plug one nostril, take something, sniff of something gross.
Oh, I've got my thing here. My Vive Organic. This is
Does it stink?
Strong here, yeah. So you cover up the one.
Plug one
give
nostril,
it a sniff.
give it a whiff.
There you go. All right. Look at us doing science here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. All right, cover it up. Here we go. Tell me.
I smell that.
And? Oh,
I don't smell that.
It's the left.
Yeah.
The left is the dead nostril.
Thanks, John Lynch. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, was it John Lynch that did that? Gave you a little pop?
Oh. It was, I think, on the NFL, this is probably 15 years ago, but I was like number 4 on the worst hits. Which would have been he would ejected, fined, probably suspended.
Yes. Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I stayed in the game.
You're lucky it didn't show up on his Hall of Fame reel.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
So you took a hit so hard to the head you lost your sense of smell.
No, I don't know if that was it, but I got hit so hard one time my eyes crossed and I couldn't uncross them.
You've told that story, which I feel guilty laughing about every time.
Everyone was laughing at it. I look like the guy from Waterboy. You know which guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, everybody knows what guy.
The idea of you coming off the field cross-eyed.
No, I stayed in. I was hitting my head. Brett's calling the play. I'm like, hold on. I can't see. It's all right. You're not involved anyway.
I feel bad. I feel bad.
Why do you feel bad? This was football back in the day, man.
Yeah, it's just
But doesn't it explain a lot about me?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, and I want to approach this as sensitively as I possibly can. I think it also serves as a great excuse at times for the guy who's truly there.
I never use that. Yeah.
For the guy who's truly there pre any concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you say earlier? Spongy?
Ashton said I can't say that over here. And Josh, he had my back and said, I don't think the FCC even knows what that is.
Because I don't.
See, Ashton's sweating right now because he thinks I'm going to say it.
I think you're going to say it.
Yeah.
Poochie, yes.
Yeah.
Instead of gooey, which was the description.
The description that Pat Murphy used for Jacob Miserowski, which, by the way, is a weird way to describe your flame-throwing pitcher, right?
Although I think Murph's got a little weirdo in him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, which is good, which is what you want in a
coach. It kind of fits with it kind of fits with Milwaukee. It kind of fits with us. You know, this whole, I love weirdos mentality.
Yes.
Big fan. Love it. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. So I guess we did cover the shoe thing there, that you don't have to take your shoes off anymore when you go through TSA.
Also, I wouldn't, if everyone else has taken off their shoes, still do it because it's a phased approach. Apparently, it's only a few airports to start. So if you try and storm through with your shoes on, you might get as we all know, we've all been barked at by TSA for doing something wrong. That's such a... I've done it however many times going through the standard check-in, and you still feel like an anxiety. And it's like, I know I have nothing here, but it's like just you got to go fast. You don't want to hold up the line. They'll yell at you and be like, "Why'd you do this?" And you're like, "I didn't know. I forgot I had a clothespin. I'm sorry."
Do you have a uni you guys travel in?
Yeah.
I have a uni, too.
Yeah, for sure. Just for ease.
Yes.
Okay.
I purposely...
I think everyone has a uni.
But it depends on the weather for me. Like, if we're talking during the fall in football, it's different than it is like I'm traveling tomorrow. That's a different uni than I would travel, during the football season.
I'm year-round.
I get too hot. You don't want me getting hot on a plane.
No.
That's when anxiety starts to kick in, and I need the old ice pack on the back of the neck. All right, well, that has been Anxiety 101 here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We'll take a break. Lots of reaction rolling in continually on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line, the Carbless talk and text line, and the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube stream. We'll get to some of your reaction as the morning rolls on right here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
94 southbound, just south of Drexel Avenue, we have the left lane blocked with a vehicle fire. They have put it out. It's just a mess heading past that scene, though. So you're seeing delays starting from just south of Rawson all the way down past the fire scene. Eastbound 94 doing the same thing. We're dealing with a vehicle fire in the Zoo interchange on the ramp to go northbound 41. The two right lanes are blocked right now. Delays stretching back to before Sunny Slope Road. More delays beyond 84th Street because of a crash at about 68th off on the left shoulder, just about, if not already gone. So just usual delays all the way to about 35th. Westbound side, little tight right past 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard and west of the Zoo interchange to the county line. One other vehicle fire, it was a semi that caught on fire. It's gutted now. It's northbound 43 at Hampton Avenue, blocking the right lane. It is going to be a tight squeeze through there, so delays all the way back to Fond du Lac Avenue. Crash on northbound 41 at Mayfair Road on the left, and then on southbound 41 at Good Hope Road, also on the left shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Tonight, stop out to see Generation Z at 7. Enjoy live music at the Bud Pavilion at State.
Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, zero bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
It's WTMJ's Brandon Snye with Leslie Smith and Craig Brogue from Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Guys, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks.
Great to be here. We are celebrating 122 years of Harley-Davidson. Leslie, what can you tell me about this year?
Oh, yeah. So Homecoming Festival is almost here. We're working really hard. July 10th through the 13th is just around the corner. This is our pride and joy. We love putting on this show every year. Craig has helped out a lot with this, with having quite the connection in the music industry. But for this, he gets to sit back and enjoy and kind of give his buddies a little shout out.
Yeah, we absolutely love giving a show at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, and that one show that makes you coming back every year. With such a huge area to work with, we have a great setting to provide options for any sound you want to hear. 2 stages, you can't go wrong. We'll have bands like Cherry Pie, Metal Men, Almighty Vinyl, King Kong, 5 Card Studs, Cole Sweat and the Brew City Horns, and that's just a few of the amazing bands we'll have on site during our 4-day homecoming festival.
Plus, we have over 50 exhibitors, free admission. We always like to say that again and again. Food trucks, charities, licensed apparel and parts, multiple bars, including a cigar lounge for all you cigar-loving people. We've got everything you need to hang out for the day. You won't want to miss a day.
I took my bike there last year. I pulled in. It was easy. It was fast. I checked out all the vendors. 4 days, guys, of tons of fun. 2 stages and 22 bands. Let Wisconsin Harley-Davidson fill up your summer with riding adventures. For more information, go to wishd.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram to get your daily updates. The website again is wishd.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram. It's Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc, your destination dealer.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You got to have a condiment with the bread.
Yeah, you want
can't
some
eat the
sort
bread
of
alone.
Yeah, you want some sort of lubricant with the bread. Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
it's just necessary.
You follow?
Like, you don't just be sitting there eating like pieces of white bread with nothing on it.
Can't be going dry.
Yeah, it can't be raw dog and just white bread.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here in the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy studios, the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and our special guest. He is Justin McCoy from Cousins Subs. Hey, Justin, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I heard you did some legwork. You got a list for us.
I
We've been
did.
talking all morning long about athletes that the state of Wisconsin has gotten hyped for, excited about. And part of it is not only was there excitement, but there were deliverables. The guy delivered or the athlete delivered. So give us your list. What do you got?
So I had 4. The first 2 I would say were excitement, at least for me. I don't know that they delivered. So Richard Griffith, Badgers. So 7-footer out of Chicago, came in and played with Michael Finley.
Okay.
I mean, Stu Jackson was head coach.
Yeah.
Griffith was like one of the top recruits in the entire country.
Okay.
Second one was Sam Oakey. Sam Oakey, Cassville, Wisconsin, McDonald's All-American, came into the Badgers, fizzled out, immediately ended up transferring to Iowa. But the 2 that I think fit your criteria are Brandon Jennings. Anticipation, scored 50 points as a rookie, really blew up. And then Graham Mertz, anticipation, goes crazy in his first game. We think we finally have a quarterback, and then boom. So those are my 4.
Yeah, but again, in true Wisconsin sports fashion, the other shoe dropped with Graham Mertz, and he was never able to duplicate that level of success to the point. Although we went to Florida, he had some success down there.
He did.
Also, if you remember, the next game was against Michigan, and they blew him out by they scored 49 points. He didn't have a crazy good game, but it was just like you thought, well, this is the next coming. This is it.
Yeah.
It was more than just that 1 week when I go back and look at it.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the Miz? He's not going to flop. I mean, I got him in the Hall of Fame already.
Our anti-gush guy.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive. I was lucky enough to be up in Minneapolis for his second start, the 17-6 win, and just seeing that power live. There's no Brewer pitcher I've ever seen that just has that. It's just, I don't know. It's pretty exciting.
I mean, when you have Kurt and Clayshaw going, I don't know how you hit that.
Who?
Yeah.
Kurt and Clayshaw.
Kurt and Clayshaw.
I'm on a roll today. I hope you're clipping a lot of this.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Pretty good
I mean, goes up against Kershaw and Skeens and gets wins.
Justin had to pause before he says the name to make sure he just gets sucked
him a
into
question,
your
Lynn Jetta.
gets sucked into your riptide. Now it's happening. All right, so free subs for a year. We talk about this whenever you are in studio with us. Let's announce the big winner. Free subs for a year. You can always enter at cousinsubs.com/free subs. And today,
it is Wendy Acker from West Dallas. Dallas making it on the show this morning.
More than 47,000 entries from guests who are looking to satisfy their local cravings all year long. For more information, as I mentioned, including sweepstakes rules, you can visit cousinsubs.com/free subs. I know, look, I was out at Summerfest. We swung by the Cousins booth, saw the great picture of Bill that was there as well. And we got the shake. We got the orange shake with the, hold on, Pooty Febbles on top. And what? Come on. And we also had the special sandwich. So how did it go out at Summerfest this year?
It went great. We want to say a big thank you to Milwaukee. We had a 20% increase this year over last year. Wow. It's the highest sales we've ever had at Summerfest, and the Italian Stallion took off. We had the fried bologna last year, which you guys tried.
Yeah.
The Italian Stallion outperformed it by like 50%.
What about the one with the spicy Cheetos on it? Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
That was my fave.
That was very good. The Italian Stallion just put up great numbers,
Really?
and it was just really cool. If you're down there, you saw our crew. We designed a T-shirt honoring Bill as well. So it was a special year for us to do that and to have the Italian Stallion take off. It was just awesome.
Do you guys do State Fair too?
We do not do State Fair.
You don't do State Fair.
But Harley Fest is coming up this weekend, and you guys will be there, right? What can we expect?
Yeah, Harley Fest. So there's like a food court at Harley Fest, so we'll be over there. We actually have our food truck there, so we're making the subs live there too, and you can come on over and get your cousin subs basically throughout the entire day and night as you're coming down for the shows and enjoying everything that's going on down there.
What's the number for Harley Fest?
I don't know what it is. I'm trying to think.
What are you talking about?
Like what year?
100.
Oh.
I'm just wondering.
1-800 Harley Fest. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, if it's like a 120 or something big like that.
Yeah,
'Cause I still remember the 100th.
And I will actually be working our truck on Friday, so come on down and say hi.
Okay.
I'm looking it up. Harley Fest 20. It doesn't say right away. I'll find it. We'll find it. We'll have the information for you, what year it is of the Harley anniversary. And we have some other breaking news here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. This is the end of an era. Justin, I'll let you do the honors in sharing with the loyal listeners, the good folks out there, the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy fam. What is next for you?
What is next for me? Well, after 20 years, I have decided to step away from Cousins for a variety of reasons. I'm going to take a little bit of time with my son before he goes off to college in the fall, and then I'm going to figure out my next step. It was a really, really tough decision. Cousin Subs has been my family for 20 years. They always will be. It's also tough because of having time like this with you guys. And I just want to thank you guys for all the support, all the fun times I've had with you on the air. I don't think this needs to be goodbye. We can figure out how we all connect again. But
I didn't drive you out.
No, you didn't drive me out. No.
Just checking.
No, not at all.
Is that really what you thought happened here?
Well,
Cousin,
I just like to share the Sundays that me and him spend together, and sometimes,
All right, that's enough out of you.
Well, that's why you asked if I was retiring, so I could go hang out with him on the lake.
Aw. Yeah. And then not have to worry about you blabbing on the radio, right?
So it happens.
It does happen. Well, congratulations to you. It will be a big change, obviously. Like you said, you have been a part of Cousins, the legacy of Cousins for the last 20 plus years. And we love having you here. We love having you come into the studio with us and talk about all the things that are going on with Cousins. And I am hopeful that you'll come in and still give us your sports takes. You are the quintessential, locked in sports fan in Wisconsin. And it doesn't matter what we throw at you. You're always ready with a take, ready with an opinion, ready with thoughts on how things are going. So I love that. In fact, let's just do that for funsies.
2 predictions I need from him. Packers, Badgers.
Oof.
Football season.
Badgers, I don't even know where to go.
Well, let me ask you this. I've seen 5.5 as the over-under for wins this season for Badgers. You feeling optimistic? You want to go over 5.5?
That's a tough schedule.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really tough schedule. I'll go 5.
So no. So no then.
I mean, I hope I'm surprised. I really do. I just haven't seen an identity from that team since Fickle's taken over. And if they don't develop, I mean, what are they good at right now? Are they a good offensive team? Are they a good defensive team? They have a solid offensive line, especially. You can't point to anything right now, and until they develop that, I don't know how you can have high expectations.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the problem is they got away from what they should be doing is get all the linemen in the state, get our great running back from New Jersey.
Yep.
Good tight end receiver.
Develop
and a
great
decent
linebackers on
quarterback,
defense.
and play great defense. So
yeah.
Hopefully they get back there. All right, now the big one, the pack.
The pack. You're looking for wins or a prediction on the season?
Wins.
Let's see here. I got a schedule in front of me. I'm gonna go 11 or 12.
11. So they're gonna play.
That's a playoff team.
Huh?
They're gonna be a playoff team.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna win 11 or 12 games.
Yes.
That feels optimistic. Feels good.
I said
mean,
11.
it feels good. It doesn't feel.
I said 11 because the schedule is.
Yeah.
It's a little brutal, but it's all going to depend on Love.
Yeah.
If Love plays like Daniels in Washington, then
yeah, I mean, you got
a good spot.
You have to think. I mean, he was banged up all last year. I think this is his prove it year to me. You know, solid rookie season, comes out last year, gets hurt right away.
Yeah.
Year 3, come out healthy, got some more weapons.
Let's throw one more out there. How far do the Brewers go?
You guys were talking World Series. I just want them to win a series. I mean, it's been how many years have we seen the Brewers now get to the playoffs, and then we have an injury.
He's Jim Mora over here.
I mean, but with the Brewers, there's just some fluke injury or something happen. I mean, like they make a run, they play solid, they get there, and then I just want to see them win a series. They're a young team. They have more talent coming up. If they win a series this year, I think they're just building towards something.
There's also the idea, though, of you don't know what you don't know, and I kind of like that they're young and they're scrappy and they run the bases well. And they, what was the stat last night on the broadcast? Something about how they lead the league in infield hits or something. It was something wild. I mean, it's just, and again, the way that this pitching staff is continuing to evolve and develop, it's making me very excited for what could be. Could I be disappointed in the end? Yes, of course. But I would rather enjoy the ride right now, which is offering so much excitement and optimism than, this idea of why do we always set ourselves up for failure? Why do we always, shoot for the moon and all of that type of stuff, which is what Alan in Milwaukee has said to us on the Carbless Talk and text line.
Isn't that just being a sports fan, though? I don't want to go in with low expectations. I don't want to be a Bears fan. I want to set my expectation high. I believe the best. And the disappointment is also part of being a sports fan to me.
It is.
It's the joy and the disaster. It all counts.
A couple of housekeeping things here. Dennis weighing in saying this will be the 122nd year for Harley since the 100th was in 2003 rather.
Nice.
And then Jared says Chark Matura got it wrong again. That's a tough one, by the way. Chark Matura.
Kind of like it.
You don't deserve to be around anything Matura, okay? Justin from Cousin Subs hanging out with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Best of luck with you, Justin. We will certainly work out some ways to get you in here doing some shows with us as we go on, if you want to. You don't want you to make the drive if you don't want to hang out with us. I totally understand.
I'd love to come hang out with you.
Chark Matura over here.
When I'm not representing a brand, maybe you can rip on Chew a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. So.
That's what's been stopping you? We will roll on here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right after this. Best of luck to you, Justin.
Thank you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with 0 sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
Wrap up the first half of the season with the Brewers as they take on the Nationals July 11th through the 13th. Kick the weekend off with the Crew's annual celebration of black culture at the Negro Leagues tribute game on Friday the 11th. Then, your next can't-miss giveaway arrives on Saturday the 12th when the first 25,000 fans will get a 90s throwback jersey presented by CBS 58. Grab your seats at Brewers.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to take care of yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song, and therapy. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough, but getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire up your fantasy. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. When Tri-City National Bank decided to optimize their print output strategy, they needed a resource with the expertise to recommend a solution. CIO Robert Prang.
And James helped us with that analysis of what our print consumption was and what we were doing.
The outcome of the James Imaging Systems Managed Print Services recommendation?
We ended up reducing down to about 97 total printers and copiers from 197.
The impact on your print output?
We eliminated over 500,000 pages a month of output that we figured out we really didn't need.
Month after month, that adds up to savings and value.
Oh, tons of value. Those numbers add up even when it's only a penny or so per page.
Managed Print Services from James Imaging Systems. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
For over 50 years, Cousin Subs has celebrated and embraced the traditions of their home state of Wisconsin. And now, Cousins will be honoring a Wisconsin tradition like no other with their Pull Tab giveaway promo. Now through July 6th, while supplies last, guests will receive a Cousins Pull Tab with a sub or sub-able purchase for a chance to win Cousin Subs for a year and much more. For additional info and official rules, visit cousinsubs.com/pulltabs. One pull tab per customer per transaction per day. To receive a pull tab with no purchase necessary, see official rules.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Hello! Shefty on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but not today. Tomorrow, make sure you listen. Brought to you by Tony Windorf and Associates. Used to babysit my kids. Good dude. Just like the moves made in the pros. Tony Windorf and Associates, First Weber Real Estate Services, helps people make their own big moves every day. Trusted knowledge, superior service. They're real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, make the move and get in touch with Tony Windorf and Associates.
Man, we are at this point of the media cycle where I have to confirm things like on several different platforms. Follow me here. Before I feel comfortable saying things out loud. So I just saw a report that said the Bucks are reportedly interested in signing veteran point guard Chris Paul. Shams of the Athletic, he's not of the Athletic anymore, he's of ESPN.
Correct.
Reported that Paul and the Bucks have had conversations about a potential deal. Is this legit? Again, like I said, I'm skeptical when I see things on certain social media platforms that they're just some, bozo out there with a interest in graphic design that are able to put together some of these things. Are you seeing the same thing, Joshy, that there is maybe mutual interest?
Yeah, this is coming from more than one source, which I think gives it even more credence. Obviously, what Shams says is typically always right, but when other people are hearing the same thing, it leads you to believe that there's at least been some interest shown. It's just trying to figure out what is going to happen with Bradley Beal and his contract in Phoenix. How do they end up getting out from it? Because it is, if you look around, one of the worst in all the NBA. So it seems like the Bucks aren't fully, even though they made that big splash and we talked about it, it seems like their desire is not to be done. They still want to go out there and try to even improve the team that we think is improved from what we expected.
Is he just a name now, though?
He is largely a name, but he's a good shooter, and he still does have value.
Okay.
The value, so he's 40 years old, right?
Ooh.
Isn't he?
Wow.
You're talking about Westbrook? Sorry, I was talking about...
I was talking about Chris Paul.
Oh, Chris Paul. Yeah, he's a little different.
So Chris Paul's value is he's always been, obviously, point guard, and he's a smart player. And one of the knocks on the Bucks has been that sometimes they don't seem like the smartest team on the floor, right? Sometimes they seem to be making bad decisions. And so if you've got a guy like Chris Paul running the offense, it feels like that could be an upgrade from what you have had in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just they need bodies there, and that's one there. I don't know how Giannis feels about him, to be quite honest. If we remember, he kind of tried to undercut him and shove him in that series. There seems to be something up with the Bucks, and I think that's interesting just to what we thought they were going to be and now where we're at.
Yeah, but how much can you count on a 40-year-old?
Not much.
I mean, he's not playing 82 games.
But you got to count on something more than they have, I think, is kind of where the Bucks are at and where they're looking around and saying, well, this is better than not having another point guard.
Okay.
There's been Westbrook, there's been Bradley Beal, all sorts of conversations of like that. That's kind of the game they're in.
Who would you rather have?
I mean, I honestly thought Westbrook has played pretty well his time in, like, he's been an up and down guy.
Yeah, but he can't shoot.
He can't, which is a big issue, but he can help create. And that's yes, it does. It's not typically what you'd think of putting next to Giannis, but in spots, can it be useful and helpful? Like he did that with the Nuggets.
I'm guessing Chris Paul is one of those top 75 players. It's just a guess here, right? When we talked about Dame Lillard being a top 75 all-time player and Giannis being a top 75 all-time player, I'm guessing Chris Paul is also on that list, or is that me giving him too much credit?
I would have to look. I think so. I mean, that's a long story career. He doesn't have, obviously, the top-end accolades, but he's been performing for a long
Yes, Chris Paul was named to the NBA's 75th anniversary team, which recognizes the 76, it says here, greatest players in NBA history due to a tie in the voting. He was ranked 30th on the Athletics list. So there's some appeal there. But again, it just shows the state of where we are in sports media, that I see information out there and I'm like, is that real? Is that a thing? Do I need to double check that? And I did. And yes, there seems to be interest. Again, I think that the Giannis dynamic is definitely something I would be curious about going forward, but he's never won a ring. And that is probably the one knock on Chris Paul's legacy, is that all those years he's been in the league, he's never been able to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy. So to be able to join Giannis and the rest of the crew that they have collected, maybe he is the missing piece. And maybe he does put him over the top. And maybe coming to Milwaukee and maybe putting any perceived differences aside would seem worth it to him. I don't know. It's fascinating because I agree with you, Joshy, that the Bucks are not done. I agree, like, their names aren't still being circulated, attached to a lot of these players, if they're not making calls, if they're not trying to pull some levers and push some buttons.
Yeah, it's been abundantly clear to me that even the people I know who talk about the Bucks, they seem to be on alert for something to happen. It's just that other shoe hasn't dropped yet. So I don't know and there is a chance it doesn't happen. Like some of these deals, as we know, we're well versed here in Wisconsin with the Packers were in the mix conversations. I think the Bucks end is a little more legit than some of those in the past, but like a deal takes a lot, and there's always people trying to come in at the last minute and swoop it out from under you. But the continued interest in these names is not just simply the Bucks were active, so we're going to include them.
So he's ring chasing. So there's got to be a handful of other teams that would probably like him. So who knows? I mean, they need somebody, I guess, trying to catch lightning in a bottle. But I guess this is kind of what this team is going to be all about.
It is very obvious to me, though, that Giannis is basically the Adam Driver. You know, what's the character he played on Star Wars where he's going, more, more, more. You know what I'm talking about. It's
Yoda?
the meme.
You need Gabe for this. I haven't watched a
Yoda?
Star Wars since Jar Jar Binks.
You know Adam Driver, though, the actor?
I know the person, yeah.
I just can't remember the character that he played in the Star Wars franchise.
Chewbacca.
I know Mimi
Definitely
Driver.
not Chewbacca.
Sith Lord.
I know Mimi Driver. I know Driving with Miss Daisy. I know
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Wasn't that Spaceballs?
Nope.
God, I'm not doing good today. I could play for the Bucks.
What? Why are you taking the Bucks
You
out?
called them dumb.
I'm talking about how, am I wrong that there have been times where like their basketball IQ is a little suspect, Joshy?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so. And
Kylo Ren, God bless America. That was the name of the character.
Who?
Kylo Ren is the name of the character. This guy over here.
Is there more?
Rilo
Sophia
Ken.
Loren.
What are we just doing? Association
Ralph
now?
Lauren.
Ralph Lauren. Don and Lorenz was a car dealer back in my hometown.
It is so fascinating to watch the synapses of his brain just like make the electric connections.
Yeah, and sometimes it loops around, goes around in a circle, bounces off each side of the skull, and ends up 40 years ago.
Anyway, it's a very famous gif of Kylo Ren going, more, more. And that to me feels like Giannis right now. He likes what the Bucks have done, I'm guessing, but he still wants more. And that's where this move for a Bradley Beal or a Chris Paul or you mentioned Westbrook, goodness gracious, comes into play. Fun stuff, good times. Thanks for all your suggestions on athletes you've been excited about, like The Miz. We got a game again, Brewers versus Dodgers today. Quintana on the hill. Will D'Antausch will undoubtedly be talking about the Brew Crew right after us here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Southbound 94, just south of Drexel. We do still have the left lane blocked. It was a vehicle fire that they have since put out.